Hi there. So today I'm going to talk about, by the way, excuse quality, $150 phone, too cheap to buy a new one. Talk about some of the things you should know before you buy a 754. This is not bashing the brand, but since there's hardly any videos on this machine, except for mine, which is kind of sad, that's another part of the problem. There's some things you probably should know, just give you a heads up. One of the things, the engine. Now, the engine works fine. It runs fine. It's quiet. There's nothing wrong with it, except to meet the Canadian standards. This is not the typical engine that comes in it. So I don't know what's in other countries, but in Canada, with all the new emission stuff, this is the engine you got. A Doosan, Hyundai. Runs fine. Problem is, it doesn't fit in the tractor the best. What do I mean by that? Well, to get that into this, it's kind of squished. And I know a lot of new tractors are going to be a lot of the same stuff, but at the same time, certain things are a pain in the butt. Even something as simple as to get to the bleeder for your fuel filter. Once you move all these wires and cables, it's stuck way down in between there. Even to prime the filter, you got to move this wiring all around. Speaking of which, the wiring, oh my God, like I think they just threw it in here. It's kind of aggravating. And the hoses, it's yeah, come on. The engine does work good. My tractor's not running at the moment because my starter went, so I'm waiting for a new starter. Well, that's okay, except to get the starter off, which is, there's a solenoid there, down here, to get to the bolts. Yeah, get through these filters. Probably have to take this filter off and get about 4 extensions on there just to get the starter off. Something that goes, it's hard to get at. Even to get to the injectors. Look at them. Right? No problem on top of the engine. Except to get to them, you gotta take off all your emission stuff to be able to even get at the damn things. And again, back to the wiring. I mean, it just kind of hangs haphazard. Can kind of get to the oil filter, right? That's not too bad. But everything else, it's tough. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. But again, outside of my starter issue, which I'm praying that they're going to go for, they're covering a warranty. It's 10-year warranty, but that's just powertrain. Then it goes down to 5 years and 2 years for the other 2 warranties here in Canada for electrical and whatever else. So be warned. Talked about the loader before. Listen, it lifts like a king. But if you're buying this machine, and I mentioned in my other videos, if you're buying this machine to drive it hard and do heavy digging and moving and plowing and stuff, don't. They're not designed for that. Lifts, no problem, but it is definitely not designed for that. But I don't use it for that, so it's not a big deal. Fuse panel. So the seat does not bend down. Right? The seat doesn't bend down. Moves ahead some, but to get to the fuse panel, just down behind there, you gotta open up the window so you can reach down and get to the fuse panel. The manual that the tractor comes with, it basically tells you how to rebuild the front end, do everything else, but there's not much on the Doosan engine, like hardly anything. And try to find information on that engine. Try to find a workshop manual where they're like gold to find for anything anyhow. It's just on the aggravation side. Second thing you should know about these tractors. In Canada, at least, I can only speak for the Canadian market. Ask all my friends, they know full well. I buy something, keep it for a few years, find another deal, trade it. Right? If I don't take a loss, but I make it up on the deal, I'm okay with that. some other dealers will not take these on trade-in. They have no interest. The brand's not known well here. They have no interest in it. And I hate to say it, from where they come from, it kind of might put them off a little bit. But just so you know, if you're going to try to trade it in, you might have some headaches unless it's paid off totally. You don't mind taking a loss on it, or you're just trying to get rid of it. I mean, it is for 75 horsepower, $20,000 cheaper than the nearest price machine, and I think that'd be on McCormick, from what I was looking at. Again, 75 horsepower range. So remember, trade-in value. Next thing, there's not much online presence. So if you go on Facebook, groups for Coyote, Kubotas, John Deere's, not too much of Massey's because quite honestly they're pretty much immortal. But to get information on Facebook groups on these tractors, ain't much there. If it wasn't for a buddy I talk to once in a while, I think he's from the Netherlands, and thank God he speaks English. He's helped me out a few times. Outside of that, there's not much for online presence. Luckily, my dealer is awesome, but that's just sheer luck. And they're good at their jobs. So those are some of the things I wanted to make sure you're aware of. Right. Again, it's a big investment, and if you're not mechanically sound and the dealer's not close, right, just think, sometimes buying a new machine might not be the better option. This is what you're going to be buying. Again, it does everything I want. I mean, they could have did an extra layer of paint. The rust is coming through and it's only 3 years old. You can see it down here on the bottom of the frame. I'm going to be painting that this summer. But I just want to make sure you're aware. Like, yeah, you're saving a lot of money, and that's the reason I bought it. It does everything I need. But you got to understand that there is a cost that goes with that, right? Does it do everything I need? Yes. I mean, even the hydraulic, there's two of them, by the way. $400 Canadian for the two of them combined. Ouch. It's... Would I buy it again? If I was in the same predicament I was when I bought it, absolutely. Wouldn't even think twice of it. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering where the starter went, I have no idea. I tried turning over a few times and it just died. They say there's a relay in it that has to be replaced. So probably just a relay or a whole new starter. We'll see when I get the new one. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, please put it in down below, and I answer them all, the good or the bad. Just because I bought it doesn't mean I'm a brand loyalist, or I'll tell you everything's rosy. Take care now. Bye.